Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Okay, I have a couple of questions for you, and I want to start as we're just giving it the last 30 seconds to a minute for people to get on and join us. I would love for you to start and put in the chat on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of using Facebook to directly get clients and make money. How would you say you're using it? Are you using it at a level 1, like not at all? Or you're like, it's my primary way to get clients and customers would be a 10. So just put between a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, we got a 1, a 0, a 4. Okay, great. A 5, a 6. Awesome, awesome. So everybody just jump into the chat and share on a scale. And also those of you on Facebook Live, please, on a scale of 1 to 10. 1, I'm not using it all to get clients and customers or to make money. And 10 would be, I'm using it all the time, right? I'm using it all the time. Okay, Linda Atkins is a 10. Awesome. Okay, Christine is a 4. Great. This just gives me an idea of where you think you are in the process, right? Where you think you are in the use of it. So here's the deal. I'll tell you a little bit, let me start by saying this. Put me in the chat. Put me in the chat. If you haven't been on a training with me, you don't think you've ever been on a training with me, or it's been like maybe forever and you can't even remember the last time you were on a training with me. I see a lot of familiar faces, so I know a lot of you have are with me. But if you, okay, Kim, hello, Kim, and Vicky, welcome, Kim, glad to have you here. Awesome, awesome. You can put that in the Facebook Live too if it's been a while since you've been on a training with us. iPhone. I don't know who iPhone is. It's a real mystery, but iPhone has not been on a training with us in a while. So welcome. If you haven't been here in a while, I'll give you the 30-second version because I really want to focus on content today and tomorrow. I want to remind you, this is a 2-day challenge, today and tomorrow. And I've really got to break this up because this is a very tactical training. It's very specific. I'm walking you through. I'm going to screen share and show you how I do some things. So it's a very tactical challenge. But I'll give you kind of the 30 to 60 second version of, I was a secretary. I was a secretary who, as a side hustle, working 60 hours a week, built a multiple 7-figure coaching business. And that's what brings me here to you today. Now, I have, over the last 14 years, primarily focused on 2 things that bring in the majority of my revenue. And that is speaking. Right? Number 1 is speaking. That brings in the majority of my revenue. And number 2 is in the beginning, this was in the very beginning, not now, was networking. Those are the 2 things I did in the beginning. Now, my primary focus is speaking, but I speak on many different platforms. Somebody's saying, will there be a replay of this? All of our replays are in our Driven Entrepreneurs group. Thank you for asking that, Vicki. All of the replays to this will be in our Driven Entrepreneurs group if you want to go back and watch it a second time, or if you have to jump off early or something today or tomorrow, they'll all be in there. So we're going for 2 days here. Today and tomorrow, same time tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place. And I see how you're all using Facebook. So I'm seeing that most people fell between a 1 and a 5, right? Which means that maybe I'm doing nothing, or maybe I'm using Facebook, but I don't know how to turn that into revenue generation. I don't know how to turn that into leads and clients and cash. And that's really key. So as I said, the majority of my income, my revenue, my $5 or $6 million a year comes from speaking. It comes from speaking. Now, what does this have to do with Facebook? Let me show you what it has to do with Facebook. Oh, wait a minute. Let me ask you all a question. Wait a minute. As I get this over here, I'm going to use this to teach today. Let me ask you a question. First, let me tell you what I'm going to have you put in the chat, whether it's in the Facebook, whether it's on Facebook Live, and I'm going to have to move this because if I start using this, I need you guys to see it. Whether it's on Facebook Live or it's in the chat here, just put into the chat, nope, no or nope, if you are not attending my virtual event, Captivate event, November 7th, 8th, and 9th. Just put nope. And the reason that's important for me to know, there's a few reasons to know, is because I'll be talking about how this carries over into that. Okay, Pat is a no, Camille, Peggy, no. Okay, so just put no or nope in the chat so I have an idea of those of you who don't have a ticket, so you are not planning on attending, or you don't know about it, maybe that's fine too. I have a virtual event November 7th, 8th, and 9th. I'll share a little bit about that later with you. But that's important for me to know because I'm gonna talk with you about how this relates to that. And it's okay if you didn't know, and it's okay if you're not coming. I'll share it with you later, but it just gives me an idea of who's in the room and what we're talking about. And the reason I thought about that is because this is a lot of the content that is going to be at Captivate event. And it's content, and I actually didn't intend to have it up here, but now that it's here, I'll share a few things with you. We're going to be talking about the 7-figure speaker path and the dividing line, value proposition, captivating angles, how to get gigs, create your fabulous free offer, your signature paid offer, develop your actual signature talk with its offer, selling from the stage. But this is the part I want to bring up today as we're talking about things today, is that leads, your topic tree, story creation, and speech content. All of this relates to Facebook. And this is how I utilize Facebook to get clients and customers. So I'm going to erase this, and then I'm going to walk you through what that means. So when I say that I get the majority of my revenue comes from speaking, I mean like 100% of my revenue. 100% of my revenue comes from speaking. Now, a lot of you, when I say speech, tell me what comes to mind. Put in the chat, like when I say speech, what comes to mind? What does that look like, right? If I say, oh, I make the majority of my revenue from speaking, just throw in the chat what comes to mind. Being on a stage, giving a fabulous speak, Tyler talking on a stage, a keynote, an organized talk. Somebody else is saying an event. Awesome. What else do we have? When I say speech, what comes to mind? Throw it in Facebook Live as well, everybody. And if you're watching on replay for Facebook Live, put hashtag replay. We're thrilled you're here. All the links will work. Content is the same. Connecting and making calls, sharing it, promote live. Okay, great. So most of you, about 80% of you said speaking on a stage. And here's what I want you to know. This is what a speech is. So I teach one speech changes everything. If I had a magic wand and I could only have you do one thing when you were starting your business off, I could only have you do one thing. It would be write a speech and have a speech ready to go first. Why is that? I'm about to show you, and I'm about to show you how that relates to Facebook and using Facebook. A speech is, yes, being in person on a stage. Absolutely. Being in person and being on a stage. It is being on a virtual stage, speaking at an event, at a meeting, whatever. It is also what I am doing with you right now. It is running a challenge. Much of the content I will be teaching you today and tomorrow also comes from my speech, my signature speech. Now I'm adding things to it. I'm going to add stories. I'm going to add samples and examples, and I'm going to add additional content. But when you create your speech, it creates your content for everything. What else is your speech? It is all of your social media content. Almost all of my social media content comes from my speech. Can I get an OMG in the chat if anybody's already had an aha? Can I get an OMG in the chat if somebody's already had an aha? It is also all of my Facebook Lives. It is all of your webinars or master classes. Your speech turns to your content for your 1-day or your 3-day events. One speech changes everything, and your speech, there we go. I see you, Lisa. I see you, Zola. I see you, Lori. I see you, Beverly. That speech becomes the content for everything else. So when you are looking, and I'm not even going to finish all this. There's like 8 other things that I could add to this, right? But I'm just trying to get you to understand the concept of it. So when I talk about the use of Facebook, and when I talk about how to utilize Facebook, everything I do really comes from having my signature talk that has my value proposition, it has my captivating angle, it has my interesting stories, and it has all of my content. Now I take that content and that material, yes, Barb, and it's repurposed, but it's repurposed in a lot of different ways. So I'm going to talk to you today and tomorrow about this entire concept of using Facebook. And I'm going to give you a sample and an example here in just a second, but I want you to know it all goes back to one great talk. And you will struggle on social media if you don't. Karen, you keep asking, it doesn't matter. It's a 60-minute talk. It's a 1-minute talk. The framework doesn't change, Karen. It doesn't change. For a 1-minute talk and a 60-minute talk, the framework doesn't change. I'll teach all that at my event. You just expand the content and expand the stories. So all of this, right? All of this comes back to a speech. All of it comes back to having a great talk. So I'm going to give you a little pop quiz. Some of you have heard me do this before. I see some familiar faces, but this is really key to figuring out how to use Facebook to get clients. If I say to you, Russell Brunson, put in the chat what Russell is known for. Any of you that are marketing nerds out there might know Russell Brunson. What is Russell Brunson known for? Funnels. Yep, exactly. Lewis Howes. What is Lewis's marketing medium? What does he use to get podcast? There you go, Sabrina. Absolutely. Podcast. Amy Porterfield. What is Amy Porterfield known for? If you happen to know Amy Porterfield. Courses. There you go, Karen. Absolutely. Courses. She's known for courses. And then let me give you one a little outside the box. Oprah. Some of you are going to have different answers when I say that one. But when I say Oprah, what is Oprah known for? Being a host. Everything, Tyler. I love that. Interviewing. Yep. Connecting, known for O Magazine, inspiration, a lot of different answers there. So here's what's interesting about what I just asked all of you. I asked all of you to name, I could have named 10 other people, and I said, what are they known for? And what you came back with is what they are known for in a secondary market. Let me explain to you what I mean. They're known for podcasts, or they're known for funnels, or whatever it is. Oprah's known for interviewing people. That's actually what they are known for in a secondary way. None of that would be possible for them to be known for if they were not speakers. They speak everywhere. They speak all the time. They speak online. They speak offline. They speak virtually. They speak in person. They speak everywhere. And it's the same thing with using Facebook. So the first thing I want you to be aware of is that to be effective on Facebook, you have to be a great speaker and communicator, because everything on social platforms, I'm only going to be focusing on Facebook today. Everything on social platforms comes back to, at some point, you delivering a message to those individuals. So let me give you an example. A couple of weeks ago, I made a Facebook post. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do the Facebook post that I did, but I made a Facebook post. I was collecting data. From that data, I created an opportunity. From that opportunity, I created a webinar. From that webinar, I generated $84,000. $84,000 from a single Facebook post to some direct messages, to bringing those people. Some of those people joined what I was doing prior to coming to the webinar, but some joined at the webinar. That entire cycle took me 4 days and generated $84,000. Now, some of you are going to say, but you have a really big following, Suzanne. I'm using my personal Facebook page. I actually don't. I was using my personal Facebook page. I may have more than some of you. Of course, some of you on here are going to have more than I have, but I was using my personal Facebook page. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. The first thing we have to talk about is your posting style. So people have to get used to seeing content from you. And that's a big block for a lot of you. And this is why I go back to the speech piece, because if you have a speech, you have all the content you will need for a year or more. I've had the same speech. I have about 2 speeches, to be honest. And I've had those same 2 speeches for 14 years, and I never run out of content, because there are always ways to pull off of that speech, making content relevant, going in a positive way on that content, a negative spin on that content, sharing that content from a tactical place, sharing that content from an inspirational place. But the first thing you have to identify is your posting style. So give me a second. I am going to share. I'm going to share a few things on, I'm going to screen share, and I want to show you a few things. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm using my personal page. I'm doing a mix of posting styles. Again, I just want to be really upfront. I cannot give you everything in these 2 days. This is a huge conversation. I am going to be teaching it for like an entire afternoon at my Captivate event. I will share a way for you to join me at my Captivate event, probably in 20 minutes or so. But I'm going to work fast. I'm going to move fast. And I cannot give you everything in 2 days, but I'm going to give you everything I can for you to see it. Okay. So as I said, I'm working from my personal page. Everybody can see that? Just give me a thumbs up, somebody, if you can see that. Okay. So I'm working from my personal page and I'm doing a mixed variety of posting styles. So I'm actually going to scroll down and get out of here and show you a mixed variety of posting styles. So some of what I'm doing, here's an example, is a long form post. I have a topic that I'm writing on. Where do you think that topic comes from? Please, somebody put in the Facebook chat in here, my speech. It always comes from my speech, right? I talk about in every speech I deliver, your content. I talk about in every speech I deliver, events. So this particular piece of content was content as an event killer. And I take my speech content and I just build it out to be a Facebook post, right? So, and if you're not following me, it's Suzanne Evans. It's just Suzanne Evans. So make sure you start following me. This is my personal page. And look, you know what I just noticed? My website is wrong. I made $84,000 from a post the other day, and I have my old website on there. I literally just noticed that. So don't always do as I do as I say, but it's working. But that's what I'm saying. You don't have to be perfect, everybody. Put in the chat. I'm not perfect. I'm delighted by that. That's how you'll make the most money, is taking action imperfectly. So I put content is an event killer, right? So this is a very content-based post. If you go back to this is a very lifestyle-based post. Now, I still made it content. This is me and my son at the state fair. And I said, if you have work you're behind on, deadlines due, emails to answer, calls to return, and a to-do list that can't get done in a day, let me suggest this to you. Do what matters first. Do what you will remember in 10 years. Head to the fair, right? So it's still a teaching post, but it's a lifestyle post. This was more of an announcement. This was something that I was speaking on, another lifestyle post with my son, a teaching post. No, sorry, that was actually an update. Let me get to a teaching post really quickly. Sorry, that's other people posting on my timeline. Okay, let me stop here. This is a social proof post, I am showing you, right? A client of mine is just about to cross over the $1 million mark, right? Mostly from speaking, I will add, which I love, but about to cross over the $1 million mark. And I am sharing her success and commenting on her, right? There's a social. So you see, there's a wide variety of types of posts going on. Here is another content post, long form, right? Talking about how I interact with my clients. So it's a teaching post. You'll see this, a lifestyle post, right? I also do this sometimes. I do an Ask Suzanne Anything, right? Where you can ask me anything. This particular one, I said, DM me a question. And for a limited amount of time, I coach some people via DM. So what I want you to notice is that I'm doing a wide variety of posting styles because people get bored eating steak every single night of their life over and over again. So I need to mix it up because I will have people comment on a lifestyle post of mine who never comment on one of my kind of content long form post, right? So that's the way it is. So you want to look at your posting styles. Posting frequency. I post on Facebook typically once a day, minimum. Those of you who are afraid or worried that you're going to overpost, that it's not possible. So stop it, let it go, throw it away. It's not possible for you to overpost. It's just not, right? But I'm really thoughtful about what I post in making sure that I'm mixing up the variety and the content, right? That I'm mixing up the variety and the content. So here's an example. Let me go back. So I ended up doing a webinar. So I want to talk to you about the two-step post. Write that down, the two-step post. I'm going to stop sharing for a second, then I'll come back and show you the two-step post. So the first thing are you writing these posts and handing them to a VA? No, No, I'm not. Great question. I do it myself. Now, do I do all of my social myself? No, but this particular one, I do myself because it is where I'm the most intimate. It's where I do the most writing and I'm the most vulnerable. Now, I pre-write some things on occasion, just so you know. I don't pre-write a lot. It's just not my style, but there's nothing wrong with pre-writing things. You could absolutely pre-write, have things in the hopper, and then, post them later. But I do not give this to a VA. I do this myself. I do have help sometimes responding to people because it's a bit overwhelming. It won't be overwhelming for most of you. Can you give me a thumbs up? That's just a fair estimation, right? You don't have as many people as I have. And if you are at my level and it's overwhelming, then you will need some help with that. But I do the posting myself. Right now, I'm going live on Facebook Live myself from my phone because streaming it through Zoom the algorithm doesn't love it as much as if I'm actually using myself to do this. I do it sometimes because I have to do it sometimes, but anything you can do on your own is going to get a higher effect, right? So the biggest thing you need to know about Facebook above all other platforms, so all platforms have a purpose. I'll share with you some examples. The purpose of Instagram is it's a show me platform. It's called a show off platform, right? It's like, let me show you pictures. Let me show you this. It's a show off platform. That doesn't mean that teaching doesn't happen there and content doesn't happen there, but it's a show me platform, right? LinkedIn is a networking platform, right? Its intention really is to network. TikTok is a party platform. And what do I mean by that? It's like going live, it's posting things. Yes, it's education, but it's like, I want to watch this. I want it to be fun. It's video based, right? All of that. Facebook is a connection platform. Facebook is a connection platform. So why is that important for you to know? It's important for you to know because people are there because they want to connect. You have to figure out at least 5 different ways to connect with them. Maybe it's lifestyle, maybe it's content, maybe it's social proof, maybe it's imagery, maybe it's going live, right? So it's really important you know that. So it's important that you have consistency. And the only way that you're going to grow your following, and I'm not interested in numbers here, guys. You don't need to have 10,000 followers. I have clients right now doing 2-step posts who have 1,000 friends on Facebook, and they are landing clients and they are selling, 30 tickets to their event, right? And that's not true that your friends see nothing, Zola. It's absolutely not true. That is something that people say who are not delivering good content. And I'm sorry, I don't mean that to be offensive, but it's just true. It's absolutely true, right? Tons of people see me and my clients. Michael Whitehouse, a friend of mine, did a post the other day. And he goes, guys, the algorithm isn't against you. Being interesting is against you. And this is what I teach. I teach how to be interesting. Now, here's the other thing. I will do some posts sometimes that I know will get a lot of attention. It's always very, very organic, and it's very intentional. Like, I've been thinking about a new car, and I don't have trouble making decisions about anything. And this car thing has made me crazy because I can't figure out what I want, right? And so I actually posted, this is what I have now. This is what I'm looking for. Give me ideas. I had like 300 comments, right? All my friends saw it. All my business associates saw it. Everybody saw it. Those are also really good things to do because it does bring you up in the algorithm, right? I did it because I really wanted to know, but I also know things like that are very generic, but everybody has an opinion on it, are going to help you in your posting. So you want to make sure that you are posting in a variety of styles. You want to make sure that your posting frequency is consistent and probably more than you think. And Dr. Barnsley, Reels are awesome. I'm not even going to get into that today, but absolutely Reels are awesome. And then you want to be thinking about a 2-step post. So here's the deal. I'm going to teach you this 2-step post method here in just a few minutes. And tomorrow, I'm going to walk you through what happens after you do the 2-step post. So today is kind of like, how do you prep your followers, I'm not talking about YouTube today. I'm only talking about Facebook. I'm teaching Facebook. All of those platforms are good and we post on every single one of them, but I'm only teaching Facebook today. So I'm going to teach you that two-step post method. And tomorrow I'm going to walk you through, what do you do after the two-step post? If the two-step post doesn't work, what do you do? How do you then DM and how do you then move it into a webinar or a masterclass and actually convert? So that's how we're going to do these 2 days. What I'm going to do first is I want to invite you to my event. There's 2 reasons I'm doing that. The first reason is, if you don't know how to speak and you're not using speaking as your primary platform, none of the platforms work for you as well. So my 3-day event is Captivate event. It's a virtual event. It's November 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's totally virtual. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to eat a lousy Marriott Cobb salad. And we are very limited for tickets. We are extremely limited for tickets. So, so bottom line is that it's virtual. I told you a lot of what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to make your free offer. I'm going to teach you to sell from stage. Social media platforms is selling from stage. Write that down. It is the ultimate selling from stage. So if you don't know how to sell from stage, I'm going to teach you that at this event. I'm going to teach you about your value proposition. I'm going to teach you something called topic tree, which is taking your speech, turning it into a topic tree, and it becomes killer content for your full year. So I have 7 tickets available with 7 bonuses today. That's it. And I think there was about 30 of you who said you don't have a ticket to the event. I don't know how many of you on Facebook Live said that. My team is going to drop the link right now. It's a $97 ticket. Guys, it's an absolute no-brainer. November 7th, 8th, and 9th. And you're going to walk away with your signature speech. You're going to walk away with your free offer created. You're going to walk away with your paid offer created. You're going to walk away with your content being built out from your talk. You're going to walk away with exactly how to use social media as a selling from the stage platform. You're going to know exactly how to be a 7-figure speaker. Hundreds of my clients have become 7-figure speakers. Thousands of my clients have become multiple 6-figure speakers. And if you can't speak, Russell Brunson wouldn't be who he was. Tony Robbins wouldn't be who he is. All of those people I mentioned, they all say, take everything away from me, but leave me my speaking and I can make money. So it's really critical. So I've got 7 bonuses for you today. And I'll share with you what that bonus is here in just a second, but the ticket is $97. I've only got 7 spots. And team, if you'll just drop the link again, and everybody, if I'm going to say chat freeze for just a second so people can grab the link, because the 7 spots are probably going to go pretty quickly. If at any point in day 1 of my event, you don't feel like I have knocked your socks off and that you felt like you would have invested $1,000 to be at that event, I will refund your $97. I will totally refund your $97. Your $97 is not important to me. What is important to me is that you have an exceptional experience and you learn how speaking relates to social media, how speaking relates to your sales, how speaking relates to storytelling. Sales don't work. Storytelling works. And I teach you how to tell stories on the social platforms. I teach you how to still tell stories from stage. Here's the other thing we'll be talking about. We actually have a pre-event networking event where you have the potential to book gigs before the event ever starts, because my clients do something called Facebook Live swaps. And it is one of the biggest generators for them filling their events or getting leads. So I have 7 bonuses. That bonus is going to be, I'm not even showing you slides on this, everybody. I have slides. I'm not showing you slides. Those 7 of you that know that you want to, and now there's only 5 left. So jump in. If you're here and you've gotten one aha from today, let me tell you, you're going to walk away from those 3 days and you're going to go, I didn't even know what I didn't know. Because the truth of the matter is there's not a single marketing strategy that will work unless you know how to deliver and sell from the stage, unless you know how to deliver a killer talk, unless you know how to be an incredible speaker, and unless you know how to turn around and use that opportunity selling from the stage. So I'll share with you the bonus. The bonus that I have left, and I have now I guess it's 5 of those bonuses left, is my 6-figure strategy lab. This is a program I used to sell for $2,000. Sometimes we'd sell it as a bonus for $1,000, but I'm gifting it to you because I want you to have exactly the roadmap that I use to work a 60-hour-a-week day job, a 60-hour weekday job and build a multiple six-figure business as a side hustle. It's exactly what I did. And I used speaking and some other strategies to do that. So we're going to gift you that in advance. We're now down to 4 bonuses for today. So jump in and grab that. And I'm going to show you something because this is going to relate to the next thing I'm going to teach you. The next thing I'm going to teach you on the 2-step post. The next thing I'm going to teach you on the 2-step post. So I want to show you this video. This is just a quick little, give me 1 second. This is a quick little snippet of what you will experience at the event. It's under, I think it's like 1.5 minutes long. And I want you to watch it because I'm going to show you how this relates to you using Facebook to get clients and book customers. Okay. Here we go. Let me see if I can get this easy for you. All right. Captivate the event. Can I get a hell yeah? Let's blow the chat up. Welcome to Captivate. In this attention-driven world, it's not enough to work hard. You have to get noticed.
She gave me the inspiration to get out there and start speaking.
I'm combining my decades of experience into a single virtual 3-day event that teaches you the key to being captivating. When you learn to tell your story, your life changes.
She is brilliant. It's like a different level of looking at the world.
This is about taking risks.
There's a real intuition to the way that she teaches. It's almost like she reads your mind.
Your life experience has value.
I'm grateful because it changed my life.
This is a 3-day event, so you can build your platform and never look back. Make more money, can I get a hell yeah? You are here to have fun, can I get a hell yeah? Join us at Captivate the event. This is about putting yourself out there. All right, I wanted to share that with you because this really deeply relates to how you're going to use Facebook, right, to be able to get attention. The bottom line is that, oops, sorry, there we go. The bottom line is that if you don't know how to get people's attention, using social media will never work to grow your business if you don't know how to get people's attention. So I'm going to ask you, those of you in this room, do you feel like you know how to get people's attention? Do you feel like you know how to get people's attention? Put it in the chat. Put in the chat, yes or no. We're living in an attention economy. We're living in an attention economy. And if you don't know how to grab attention, we're scrolling all day long. You know that, you're doing it, I'm doing it. And if you don't know how to get people's attention, the strategy that I'm about to share with you won't work. I'm dead honest. How many of you have probably tried posting and doing and having direct asks on social that haven't gotten you anything? Just be honest, raise your hand. That's because it starts with the ability to get attention. And if you don't know how to get attention and you don't know how to deliver a talk and sell from the stage, because social media is a stage, write that down, everybody. Social media is a stage. None of the strategies that you learn from the many gurus that teach social and getting clients on social will ever work. Let me say a little more about that, and I'm going to show you the 2-step. There's a lot of people who teach this better than I do. Or I don't know if they teach it better than I do, but they know more about this. Like their entire specialty is how to get clients from Facebook, right? We've got 2 bonuses left today, everybody. So if you're on here and you're not coming to the event, like make it happen, make it work, jump in. There's a lot of people that this is all they teach. I follow some of those people. They're friends of mine. They're amazing teachers. But here's the problem with what they teach on how to use social, right? They teach you when to post, and they teach you how to post, and they teach you sometimes what to post. But the problem is those posts still aren't getting you any traction, because unless you combine that with understanding how to be a storyteller. Do you think storytelling happens in a post, right? Sure, it can happen in a post, right? It can happen in a post. But true storytelling happens in the post before that was leading to that post. and the post before that then relates back to that and has something that we call in speaking a tie back. And then the post down here, right? Or the Facebook Live that you do relates back to this, that reminds people of that. People are teaching the tactical side, right? People are teaching the tactical side of Facebook, right? But what they aren't teaching is you can post all day long with a bunch of stuff that won't matter if you don't know how to captivate, if you don't know how to get people's attention, and you don't know how to build off of that. And that's what I'm talking to you about, right? That's what I'm talking to you about today. And it's what I'm sharing with you is that even though I'm teaching you the tactical side of this today, I have to tell you it won't work unless you get captivating. It won't work unless you understand your value proposition along with your inspiring, captivating angles so that you become fascinating enough that people stop in the scroll. Does that make sense, everybody? This is so important. Nobody wants to tell you this because then you won't buy their How to Get Clients on Facebook program. They don't want to tell you that. They don't want to share that because Dee Dee, if you're trying to sign up, team will give you the link. Let me do this for 1 second. Team, let's put the link in again. We have 1 bonus left today. Tomorrow, I am going to have 3 bonuses, just so you know. So if for some reason you're like, I'm in the car, I'm going to give you an email that you can email us if you want to get one of those bonuses. And I'm going to give you a phone number that you can call if you need to use PayPal or you have a question. So my team is going to put 866-670-4525 in the chat along with our email there, help@Driven Inc. So if for any reason you're like on, in the car and you need to call, or if you need to use PayPal or a different means, please don't hesitate to reach out to us or call us. We will support you and we will make sure we hold a bonus for you. That goes for Facebook Live folks as well. So that's the problem, everybody, right? Like, I hate to be the Debbie Downer here, but like, if you don't understand that captivation piece, if you're not a great speaker, if you can't hold a room, if you can't have people go to church with you, that's what I call it. If you can't get people to go to church with you, they are not going, right? They're not going to be able to make that leap with you on that. So a 2-step post. So what ends up happening is you want to have your data first. So there's 3 steps to this, okay? There's 3 steps to this. Let me write these down for you. 3 steps to this. Step number 1 is data. Step number 2 is the ask. And step number 3 is the deliver fast. And I'll walk you through these 3. I'm going to teach you the first 2 today. And then tomorrow this will be tomorrow, but I'm going to teach you these 2 today. Okay. It is data, ask, and deliver fast. So on social media, this is a writer downer and you're going to pass out when I tell you this. On social, the typical lead on social media goes cold within 5 minutes. I know, just start throwing up in your office. I get it. Just start throwing up in your office right now. The typical lead starts to go cold. I don't mean it's dead cold. Does that make sense, everybody? But it starts to go cold within 5 minutes. Now, are you going to be able to jump on every single lead within 5 minutes? No, probably not, right? Probably not. And that is okay, right? Probably not. And that is okay. But you do have to realize how fast social turns. Does that make sense, everybody? Can I get a thumbs up? So the data, let's start with the data. What does data mean? You want to know something that people are interested in. You want to know that this is an urgent thing that they want to know. How will you know this? Actually, from speeches. Let me say more. So whether you're delivering a webinar or a masterclass, or you went live on Facebook, or you actually delivered a talk somewhere that you booked, that data is going to tell you what fired people up the fastest. Does that make sense, everybody? Like, what did people comment on the most when you did a Facebook Live? If you were holding a webinar, what did people sign up for the most? This was a very hot topic for us today. The Facebook Fast Cash Live. This was a very hot topic. You guys want to know more about this. I know that. That's why I've created content for an entire afternoon around this at my event. I get it. But when you identify that, and you're going to have to try a few things, you're going to have to do some Facebook Lives. This doesn't work as well just posting information. Does that make sense, everybody? It works a lot better if you're delivering content. So you can deliver it via a reel would be kind of the lesser of all of them, but a reel would work. You want to deliver it live, a video, a reel, a Facebook Live, an actual webinar, a masterclass, a talk that you give somewhere, right? And once you have that data, right? Once you have that data, you can go, oh my gosh, this is what happened to me in my two-step post. In the two-step post that I used, everybody wanted to know how to fill events. Like people were blowing me up. I had not intended to run any kind of program about filling events. I was talking about it. I had done a masterclass on it in which we had promoted to my list, and I'd done some posts about it. And every time I posted about it. So you can do this through a static post. You know what a static post means, right? Just a post. Doesn't work quite as well, but if you don't have an audience to speak to yet, you can use this if you need to in the beginning. Blowing me up about this. So I was like, okay, wow, right? Like, this is interesting. Everybody wants to know about this. So then I went to do a static post, right? I went to do a static post where I basically said in that static post, hold on, I'm going to find it for you. I'm going to read you exactly what I said. Give me a second. Sorry. And in that static post, I basically said to people, right, like, are you interested in, filling a room? And I was very specific, and I had a very specific ask in it, right? Fill any room in 30 days. That's what the headline said. I'm going to screen share with you. Sorry, I didn't want to make you seasick while I was finding it in my feed. I said, fill any room in 30 days. You can screenshot it. Fill any room in 30 days. I'm looking for 20 to 30 people who want to fill an event and watch me sell mine out. My event was coming up in just 30 days, detail in comments. That's all I said, right? That is the post. But what did I have? I had the data, right? I knew that there was some people interested in this. I didn't know how many, but I knew it was a high interest topic. So when I did that, I said, in the details, I simply said, right, like, here's the deal. Like, if you are, and let me try to find that exact piece for you. Hold on. Let's go to newest, because it's actually going to be at the end, because I was the first person to comment. So let's get down to the bottom. 192 comments, folks. So like big time. All right, let me see if I can get to it. Okay, so somewhere up in here, let me find where I was. I basically gave the details of what I needed you to do to take a next step with me. Okay, hang tight, everybody. I had to add this, and this is the last step. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. This is where I turned it into a webinar, right? So this is your deliver fast. So that's going to be a step for later. But I'm going to find you the post that I made. And sorry, it's just tricky when you're doing this. Yeah, here you go. You can screenshot this. In the last 50 months, I've had over 50 requests to show people how I've sold out my events for 14 straight years. So I'm formalizing it in a live behind the scenes, very specific hand-holding experience. I'll give you all my emails, my templates, my ideas, etc., and you will see it all live in the moment. Put event below, and I'll personally DM you with the details. This will be the first 20 to 30 people, and I will move quickly as the experience will start in the next 5 days. So when I saw this interest, and then I made that post, I created a program within about a 3 or 4 day time frame. This is how fast you can move on Facebook. When you have a speech, you know how to deliver, and you have the content, right? So I did that. It was so overwhelming DMing everybody. And remember, Facebook can shut you down. You can only send about 20 to 25 DMs a day to people you haven't already DM'd with without possibly getting shut down or blocked. I had to do that other message, which I showed you, which was like, we're going to turn this into a webinar, right? We're going to turn this into a webinar. I'll talk about that tomorrow. So the first step is collecting your data. The second step is an ask. Now, I decided to go to selling a program. You don't need to do that. I'm more advanced than some of you. I could have said, fill any room in 30 days, looking for 20 to 30 people who want to fill an event, And then my details could have said, I'm going to run a 2-hour training on this, but I'm only going to do it for 30 people. It's completely free, but you have to commit to being there, and I'll DM you the details. I didn't have to be deciding to move into a program. Does this make sense, everybody? Right? I could have been stepping into something that is free, right? So this is the data. The second is a direct ask. Did you see how direct that ask was? Very clear. Fill any room in 30 days. I'm looking for 20 to 30 people. How many people? And I'm looking for people who are interested in filling their room. And I am and there's a specific way to do this, and you got to look for the details in the feed, right? In the chat. So the ask has to be specific to who it's for, what it is, which is the problem you solve, and it has to have some urgency. And it has to have some urgency, okay? So it has to have those elements to it. That's where you start. Yes, they're qualifiers, excuse me, and filters, absolutely. So once that happens, tomorrow I'm going to be teaching you about how you deliver quickly, right? How you deliver quickly. But I want to go back to what I was sharing, and this is so important because this is, this is the number one thing that I teach people. Can you see how this would become impossible if you don't know how to deliver a great talk and sell from the stage? Just put yes in the chat if you see that now, because here's what happens. I have to collect my data. The best way to collect the data is from some form of a talk. When I ask, I need to be really specific, right, with all of this. But when I deliver fast, if I'm going to deliver on this and turn it into being profitable, I'm going to need to hold a webinar or a masterclass or a small event or something that then translates into a sale, right? Yeah, I know. Sorry, it's always hard to see all of my whiteboard. I'm on my little computer. My computer got hit by lightning, and you don't care about my problems, but it did. So I'm working off of a laptop right now. So this is what happens, right? So there are at least 3 places, right, that I need to be able to be a great speaker and have a speech in place to be able to really make this work. And so when you look at people who are crushing it on any social platform, they are people who sell like gangbusters from the stage. They're either moving people to events. Now, there are sometimes that you can move people into a one-on-one session with you. That can absolutely be the case as well, but you can't do volume that way, right? And I'm talking to you today about how to do volume, how to close $100,000 off of a few posts, how to do, how to fill an event from a post that then turns into something else. So that's how you do volume. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to take just a few minutes of questions. If anybody has a question, I'm probably going to let Facebook Live go. I appreciate you being here because you can't hear the questions as well, but the link to come to the event is in the chat, Facebook Live. Thank you so much for being here. And then I'll take a few questions here. While I'm taking a few questions here, team is going to drop the link one last time. I see somebody who wrote in and said, I'm in the car and I want to sign up. So we may be at our 7, but I'm going to say we have one more because they haven't officially come in, they're driving. So one last bonus for today. What does it look like? On November 7th, 8th, and 9th, you're going to come to my 3-day virtual event. The night before the event, we are going to have a pre-event networking party where you can book gigs, get joint venture partners. It is 3 days, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time till 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have evening sessions. It is going to be soup to nuts. How to walk out of there with a signature talk, how to walk out of there with your free offer created, your paid offer created, how to use selling from the stage on all social platforms, how to create your own events and fill them, how to create your own webinars. I just sent the content to my content booklet. You're going to get a workbook about this thick. I just sent that to my team because they're actually working on some printing and some things, but all of that for $97 plus one more of you is going to get my $2,000 program, 6-figure strategy lab, which is exactly how I built a multiple 6-figure business through speaking, through networking, and through simple low-tech strategies. We didn't even have social then, to be honest, while I worked a 60-hour-a-week day job. So thank you. And I'm sorry, I'm probably saying it wrong. Anais is saying, I'm loving that program. I'm going through it now. She's coming to our event. So whoever is on here who got at least one aha from today's call, join us for the event. I promise you, you will have a notebook full of ahas. You will have a signature speech written, and the fastest path to cash is speaking. And if you're using any other marketing method, that marketing method is going to stall out, or it's going to be a challenge if you don't attach speaking to it. I build everything off of two principles: speed and simplicity. The fastest path to cash is speaking, whether you're doing it on Facebook or you're doing it on an in-person stage. So the link is there. Grab it for the last person who wants to get that bonus. And I see a hand raised, which is awesome. If anybody else has a question, go ahead and raise your hand. Julie, please unmute yourself.
Hi, Susan. Thanks. This has been great. And I really want to come to your Captivate, but I'm actually on another course that I can't change or rearrange or anything like that. So can I sign up and get the replays? I mean,
There's zero
replays?
replays,
Oh.
and whatever you have, cancel it, change it.
I can't.
What is it? Let's talk about it. I'm the ultimate coach. Watch what I'll do. What is it?
It's a 5-day training session with a guy called William Whitecloud.
Okay, this is a program you've purchased?
Yeah.
Okay, do they run it more than once a year?
No,
Okay, great. So what are the hours of that?
they are 9 in the morning UK till 5, and yours starts at 2 in the afternoon.
So that's perfect. So you'll need somebody to take notes for you just the first couple of hours, and then you'll be able to be there the rest of the time.
Come again? So I won't be there for 3 hours.
And that's not, just so you know, Julie, it's not ultimately ideal, but it is
No.
better than not being there at all. If this were, $5,000 investment, I might say, I don't know that that's ideal, but it's a $97 investment. I catch up every single day. As I'm building it cumulative, you're going to see what was in the workbook. So you're going to have that information.
Okay.
Missing. Ideal is you're there for 3 days, everybody, of course. And look, people are volunteering to
Yeah.
help, to connect with you. So jump in, grab the last bonus,
Okay.
and make it the best 5 days of your life. You have that training in the morning, then you step into this. By the end of that week, you're gonna be a fucking superhero.
Let's hope so.
I love it. Great question. Great question.
Thank you.
So
Thanks.
please drop the link for Julie there to make sure.
I've got it. I've got the page open already.
Okay, great. Awesome.
I
Thank
just
you
need to
so
go and get
much.
my credit card.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Anybody else have a question? It can be about the event. It can be about what I've taught today. Tomorrow, we're going to go over what do you do after you make that post, the 2-step, what do you do if it doesn't work? And then what do you do with DMing and turning it into a webinar? So we'll cover that tomorrow. Anybody else have a question for today? Okay, bring some questions tomorrow. I like questions, folks. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I can't see you unless you raise your hand. So always Zoom etiquette, go down to the bottom. You'll find participants and you raise your hand so that I can see your hand raised. Nice, go ahead. Oh, you're muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
There we go. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to let Julie know who I am.
Yes.
I
Okay, so why don't you
volunteered-
direct message her? Direct message her
I
your
will,
email.
but I just want
Awesome.
to give her a minute.
That's awesome.
It's just like, this is how we do it in community. Like,
Absolutely.
this is how we make more.
I'm
Absolutely.
just signing up.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm so excited to have you, Julie. And you are in an amazing community. People will lift you up. You'll jump right in and you'll hit the ground running. Awesome.
I'm just trying to find analysts in the.
Why don't you direct message her on us and then you guys can connect. That's awesome. Thank you. Christine, go ahead. What's your question?
I apologize. I think I'm confused about the data post. To me, it sounded like it was a static post, but then you were talking about
It's
doing
not,
it
it
best if
really,
it's
it's
talking.
not it can be a post if you don't have a way to deliver speech. It should be a talk. It should be a webinar. It should be a masterclass. It should be going live on Facebook. It should be delivering something if you can. If you're
Okay.
just starting out and you can't, let me just add to this here. It can be a static post. And so what you're doing is you're testing the market, right? Maybe I'm posting about filling events. Then maybe I'm posting about using Facebook Live as a stage. Maybe then I'm posting about, right? You're looking at what's getting you the most interest, and then you're going to want to go with that direction for your 2-step ask post. Does that help?
Okay, so yes. So what you're saying is the data can be collected in any live event anywhere.
Absolutely.
And then the ask, what's the 2 steps? You ask and then you reply to people in the.
I showed you the post. No, I showed you
I've
the
I've
post.
got that. Yeah.
That means you post and they're replying. And
Got
then,
it.
and then you have
Okay.
them take a next step, which I'm going to
Yeah.
teach you tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
I
do
got
that
all
next
that.
step
So
tomorrow.
I'm not as lost as I thought.
You're
So
not
thank
as
you.
lost. You're not as lost as you think you are. Awesome. Glad. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.